puntahan po natin na Congresswoman yung possibility nga na pagbotohan ng Senate impeachment court itong motion to dismiss. Ang iniisip ko, hindi ba against yun sa spirit ng impeachment process to hold impeached officials accountable kung ang magde-decide dun sa kahihinatnan ng proceedings ay a simple majority, whereas nandun din yung requirement na two-thirds para i-convict.
Kaya nga, well, hindi ko masasabi na mali yung majority. Kasi this sinasabing by majority vote, kasi nga ang malinaw sa constitution ay yung two-thirds in order to convict. Pero hindi nga dapat pinag-uusapan pa yan. Hindi na yan dapat pinag-uusapan yung pagpapaboto ng majority vote when it comes to moves or prayers for dismissal, because that will actually undermine the whole impeachment process. Dahil nga, ang pinakamandato ay itry nga, ilitis at ipakita yung ebidensya at sagutin nung inaakusahan sa kanyang mga through her defense evidence, if any. Hindi yung iiwasan yung proseso. Yan ang talagang hindi sakop at yan ang talagang para sa akin clear violation of the Constitution. Yung iiwasan yung impeachment, yung trial mismo. Kasi ang ginagawa nila, lahat na lang, they're taking issue on the form, on the substance, and the procedure. When for me, the form and substance of the verified complaint for impeachment as well as the articles of impeachment are sufficient. And yet, kasama yun sa defenses, kasama yun sa mga sinabi sa verified answer ad cautelam. Ito mga procedural, ito mga technicality. That should not go, or that should not be a hindrance dun sa pagtackle na nung pinaka-meat ng impeachment process. The meat is to ferret out the truth.
Okay. So, kung dapat i-ignore yan, no? Ano dapat officially maging action ng impeachment court? Given the fact na nag-motion yung Vice President as a defendant, ano dapat nilang gawin doon sa motion na yun?
Well, they can say that the motion is merely noted. Just note it. The prayer for dismissal. That they cannot entertain dismissal at this point, or they really cannot entertain dismissal because yung authority nila is limited to either convict or to try or to acquit after trial. So just note it for the records. But they will say, let's proceed with the trial proper. Kasi yun ang pinakamandato namin.
When you say they, the Senate impeachment court presiding officer can make that decision by himself? Ganun po ba yan?
Yes. They can, because nandiyan na yung pleading na yan. Verified answer ad cautelam. So they cannot really simply ignore that. Katulad din, ginagawa rin yan ng Supreme Court or any other court, appellate court, or even trial court. If something is filed which is not worth acting on one way or the other, whether to dismiss or to grant, to deny or to grant, nino-note lang, duly noted.
Kaso po ang pagkakaiba dito, this is a political body as well, and hindi pa sure si Senator Jesus Escudero kung siya pa rin yung presiding officer as Senate President sa 20th Congress. So, gusto kong pag-usapan ito dahil baka consideration yun kung mananatili siya sa pwesto, kung makakakuha siya ng sapat na suporta para manatili Senate President doon sa mga senador, di ba? Baka ito isa mga considerations. Teka muna, dismiss yan. Pagbotohan natin yan at the very least. What do you think?
Dapat kasi, whether or not he still has that ambition to stay, to remain a Senate President, ay hindi dapat na nawawala sa kung ano ang nakalagay sa Constitution. Hindi dapat na, kasi sila ang gumagawa ng komplikasyon eh. Well, this is supposed to be, the whole yung paggawa ng mga iba't ibang stages of the proceedings, supposedly ano lang yan that is supposed to be just smooth. Kasi ano bang komplikado diyan na pag-transmit ng articles of impeachment, ipapasagutin yung defense, yung respondent, magre-reply yung prosecution, then magpe-pretrial conference, then magcha-trial. It's as simple as that. They're complicating things by doing all this. Yung kino-consider, ine-entertain nila the very possibility of dismissal at this stage, at the outset, without looking at the evidence, without seeing any piece of evidence, without hearing any single witness.
And I think we know the answer to that, no? At least at iniisip ko po dyan na Congresswoman. It would have been easier kung hindi si Sara Duterte ang nililitis dito. Dahil si Sara Duterte yan, maraming political considerations because the Dutertes are still a very strong political force or political dynasty. Diba? Yan naman ang totoo dyan eh.
Most probably. At kaya nga merong impeachment process. At kaya nga yung mga highest officials lang ang subject to impeachment. Kasi yung mga regular processes in the justice system would be difficult to apply if yun na nga sila ay mga matataas and you know, and of course the other consideration is that para hindi nagkakaroon ng diversion or hindi sila na-divert, na-deviate sa kanilang mga importanteng trabaho. But kapag they commit an impeachable offense or offenses, just like in this case, hindi nila pwedeng iwasan yung accountability.
Okay. So procedurally, itong motion to dismiss ng Vice President, tapos diba pasasagutin po dyan yung House Prosecution Team. So after that, Senate President Chis Escudero can actually simply say noted dito sa motion to dismiss and then move on. Ganun po ba yan? Hindi na mag-intay doon sa 28th Congress?
Mas maganda sana if it's the impeachment court itself, or in the meantime, just ignore it, the prayer for dismissal. Anyway, ano na ng mga denials and defenses, at kapag mag-reply na ang prosecution panel, we can now say legally that the issues have been joined. Kapag meron ng joinder of issues, trial na. Ganun lang yun. May allegations, accusations sa articles of impeachment. Sinagot ni VP Sara, nag-invoke ng defenses, nag-invoke ng denials, and even jurisdictional question. That is why ad cautelam. Pero dahil nga ad cautelam, dahil hihintayin nila yung sa Supreme Court case because it's essentially raised the same grounds na ano nga daw, na violative of the Constitution dun sa 1 year ban involving a same impeachable official. That's why ad cautelam yan. But since wala namang TRO na issued by the Supreme Court, there's no reason to delay. So, pag nandyan na yung reply, it has to be acted upon. Unless, ang talagang plano nila, since nag-adjourn na nga sila, sine die, ay hindi na nila gagalawin muna anything there and just wait for the next Congress. But that is again another form of dereliction of duty. Kasi is hindi sapat yung dahilan na dahil nag-adjourn na sila, because we keep on saying, ang argument natin, ang position natin is that hindi ito covered ng ordinary calendar, legislative calendar of Congress acting as a legislative body. Ibang-iba ito. So hindi dapat nag-a-apply. Hindi dapat kinukonsidera na may recess, may adjournment, and whatever else. Yes.
So they can convene even before the actual start of the 28th Congress as an impeachment court and decide on this. And when they do that, they can simply take note of the motion of the office of the vice president. Tama po ba?
Yes. And then do the next stage. Kung although look, ilang araw na lang.
Ilang araw na lang din eh.
Di ba? ang deadline yata ng reply ng prosecution panel is on Saturday, 28. So since it's a Saturday, so pwede pa Monday, June 30. And that is the last day of the current Congress. The next day, 20th Congress na. Right? So, they should just continue. Unless intayin pa nila yung SONA, and then dun kasi mag-start yung mga regular proceedings ng Congress after the SONA. But as a Congress, the 20th Congress is supposed to start July 1 na.
Kanina po sabi nyo, ang talagang iniiwasan dito ng Vice President ay yung actual trial at yung labasan ng ebidensya. Why do you think takot sila na mangyari ito?
Malakas ang ebidensya. Alam nila, lalabas ang katotohanan. Nakita na yung mga ibang ebidensya doon pa lang sa mga hearings. And syempre, meron pa yan mga idadagdag. Because syempre, nagkaroon naman ng mga additional case build-up. That is just to be expected. Ganun naman talaga sa mga kaso na pag magta-trial, as much as possible, yung the period na before the trial ay gamitin para palakasin yung kaso ng prosecution. So that's it. They just want to block the truth.